Imagine if you had been able to study at your own pace, taking your time to fully understand the areas where you struggled and working on more complex problems where you excelled. Imagine if, instead of mindlessly memorizing meaningless facts that you saw no future use for, you simply discovered them through play, on your own terms. Imagine your questions of small details that drew your attention being met with, "Let's see where we can find that answer," instead of a "we don't have time for that." Imagine if your attempts to join in tasks like laundry and cooking, even at a young age, were met with open arms and a chance to try instead of being shooed away from adult work. Imagine if your unique interests, strengths, and abilities were celebrated instead of constantly fixed to fit the future corporate norm. Imagine if the love for learning that helped us learn to crawl, walk, and speak had stuck around into the school-age years. Welcome to Montessori, a child-led philosophy that celebrates and respects the child, nurturing their innate desire to question, learn, discover, and be a contributing member of their environment. The Montessori method is a whole child approach, developing the physical, social, emotional, and cognitive skills of the child. It is hands-on learning, which allows the child to explore and discover the world through their senses, on their own terms, with proper support from their guides instead of simply memorizing and regurgitating facts. The Montessori method fuels each child's individuality rather than trying to break them to fit the mold of adulthood that then asks them to prove their unique worth. It allows the child to feel pride in their accomplishments and know their worth for themselves, without relying on gold stars or grades passed out by adults. A quick Google search will tell you that Montessori started in the slums of Rome, where Dr. Maria Montessori began her work with underprivileged children, where she found that children displayed an intense internal drive to do meaningful work and craved the chance to explore the world with their senses. You may see the term the absorbent mind, as Dr. Montessori found that children are consistently soaking in everything around them, especially in those first 6 years of life. You may read that the Montessori students eventually outperformed their peers on state exams, regardless of their background, or you may find the story of how her first classes had kept their DIY materials up in cabinets under lock and key, but when the teacher arrived late one day, she found that the children had crawled in through the windows, opened the cabinet that she had forgotten to lock, selected an activity for each of themselves, and were peacefully engaged in independent play. These first students, who had never been in a school before, were no longer unruly, but now displayed periods of deep concentration, calm behavior, and a strong sense of order and care for their environment. You may also see that the founders of Google themselves attributed their success to their own Montessori upbringing. And while the Montessori method in class is most recognized by the beautiful didactic materials on open shelves, the Montessori approach, especially in the home, is far more than that. The Montessori method recognizes the child's need to practice their independence and presents them with an environment and adult that are ready to support that. Children are far more capable than we give them credit for. They yearn to catch up with the adults, to understand the way the world works, and do not have the time for meaningless busy work. The Montessori environment provides the child with access to developmentally appropriate independence and freedom within limits. We create a home and a class that encourages and inspires inquisition and self-directed learning rather than battling to keep everyone complacent and on the same page. We act as the child's guide, someone who surely has more life experience to reference in creating boundaries, but we leave space for dialogue, questions, and corrections. Dr. Montessori had said, "When a child is given a little leeway, he will at once shout, 'I want to do it.' But in our schools, where we have an environment adapted to children's needs, they say, 'Help me to do it alone.'" So what does a Montessori environment actually look like? We adapt our world to make space for our littlest members. We present them with beautiful materials that allow for hands-on discoveries of isolated skills in practical life, sensory motor, language, math, science, culture, art, and music. These materials are presented in an orderly manner on open shelves, in trays or baskets, allowing the child to select, set up, complete, and put away an activity all on their own, without the need to wait for an adult. We offer open-ended toys like blocks, trains, and dolls for active play and creativity over a toy designed to do the playing for the child. We allow them to join in on seemingly mundane tasks like cooking, cleaning, taking care of ourselves, our environment, and each other, as these are the tasks they see us doing most often, are most drawn to, and present a chance for the autonomy they crave so much. We consider their size when preparing our home, placing utensils in bottom drawers, step stools in the bathroom, and adding a low rod for their clothes. We select furniture and tools that are just their size, which allows them to focus on the task at hand rather than worrying about how to manipulate an item twice their size. We present them with options within boundaries that we have set. a chance to choose which of two outfits to wear or what colored cup to use. And we observe. We observe how the children interact with this environment, what causes frustration and what brings joy, where do we need to step in and what requires us to sit back. We do not interrupt their concentration with needless commentary or empty good jobs. We allow them the chance to feel a sense of pride, accomplishment, and intrinsic motivation while acknowledging their efforts. As our child's needs and development change, so too does the environment we present to them. In the school, the mixed age class allows the younger kids to see what is possible, while the older ones have a chance at leadership and helping their friends. A child just learning their numbers can see another working on addition and be intrigued and motivated to reach that milestone, while another student proficient in reading can help a younger friend sound out the beginning sounds of words. The class runs on its own terms, with students engaged in work that they find to be meaningful, while the teacher observes, stepping in to provide individual assistance to each child as needed. The carefully curated materials and orderly class allows children to enter moments of uninterrupted, deep concentration, which is what lends itself to the serene and peaceful work cycle you can see in the class. I encourage you to visit an authentic Montessori school near you to see the spark in these children's eyes and the respect they have for their community. Montessori provides the child with an opportunity to be the true self-starters and motivated learners we ask of them in adulthood. Montessori allows the child to truly know that they are capable because they have seen it for themselves and not because an adult has said so. And Montessori treats the child with the type of respect we say they should expect of others as adults. So if you're ready to get started, I encourage you to check out my channel where I display some of the activities, daily routines, and different changes to the home that we can make in order to incorporate Montessori into our home in an easy way. If you have any questions about the Montessori method, I do have a specific playlist for that, but you're always welcome to let me know in the comments. And until next time, I hope you stay safe.